Hey guys, Drew here, back with another video, and welcome to another recap of the Montreal Canadiens 2025 playoff run. And in today's video, it's a little different. The Habs didn't lose. In fact, they won. They won big. They won 6-3 over the Washington Capitals. And by far, this was the game of the year by Montreal. We'll talk all about it in today's episode. But yeah, I'm gonna list off the goals to first talk about it, and then overall, how did the game go in the Habs and Capitals' favor? So the game opened up with a Connor McMichael tipping. McMichael's a really good player for the Capitals. He definitely tried to tick off the Habs a little bit. He has a bit of Marchand in his game, I'll say, but I wouldn't fully call him Martian because he won't drop the gloves here and there. He won't usually fight. But he definitely tried to get under the other team's skin. And he was able to get one here to open up scoring. He kind of shut up the crowd a little bit. As this was actually my first game experiencing Montreal Canadiens atmosphere live. Last time I was still a hockey fan in 2021, but it just wasn't the same. There weren't much fans in the stands at that point. And then the time before that, I believe it was like 2017 or something like that, I wasn't that big of a hockey fan at that point. So it was pretty cool to experience that atmosphere tonight. And then to open up the scoring is none other than Alexander Carrier. Didn't score much this year for Montreal. The only one I can remember on the top of my head is one goal he scored. So it's pretty nice to get Carrier on the board. A blast from the point, and it beats Thompson blocker side. But Thompson is a right-handed catching goaltender. But yeah, a nice way to end the period for Montreal. I believe it was like 52 seconds left on the clock, so they like scoring goals to end the period, as they did it again in the second period. But before we talk about that, a nice blast from Carrier to make it a 1-1 hockey game. Then in the second period, Montreal goes on to the power play, and literally right after the faceoff, it might not have even been 2 or 3 seconds, Nick Suzuki, it just gets open into the slot, and he just roots it backhand over Thompson and into the back of the net. Really nice celebration from Suzuki as well. I noticed he's been working on his celly game, and maybe we'll see some more from him as the series goes by. But a really nice goal by Suzuki. He's able to find himself in that right area at the right time, and is able to take that to his advantage and beat Thompson. 2-1 Montreal. Then Washington ties it up once again, and honestly, Montreal has a hard time trying to keep insurance. It's hard. I noticed after this, it was a Chikrin blast too. Don't get me wrong, a really nice shot by Chikrin. But after that Suzuki goal, I was like, Montreal needs insurance badly. They need to get that 2-goal lead, because I can't feel comfortable with a 1-goal Montreal lead. It just doesn't feel safe enough as a 2-goal lead or a 3-goal lead. And that's just proof right there, as Chikrin comes into the slot and he blasts it and he beats the goaltender Montembeault. And yeah, a little bit of talk about Montembeault. He did not return later in the game. I believe it was near the end of the second period where he left, and they had to bring in Jakub Dobish, who at the start of the year was an AHL starter, but now he's playing his first pro playoff game. I believe it's his first pro game. Maybe he played a bit for Laval. But in the Bell Center, the nerves on him must have been insane. Playing against none other than Alex Ovechkin too. But in the Bell Center in the playoffs, I can't imagine how he was feeling. But anyways, back to the game. Washington makes it 2-2 with about 2 minutes left, maybe 3 minutes. And then literally 8.6 seconds left. The puck, Washington seems to dump out the puck, trying to clear it out of the blue line to end the period. But Hudson just flies by Alex Ovechkin. You could roll back the clip. Ovechkin's trying to guard Hudson, but Lane just passes by Ovechkin and is able to get into the open slot, slides it right across the Caulfield into the open net. Montreal takes the lead once again, 3-2. And as I said before, Montreal needs insurance, because must have been a couple seconds heading into the third. Alex Ovechkin makes it 3-3. But I just forgot about something that happened to end the second period, indeed. We had a brawl. We had a full-out brawl that had me jumping on the edge of my seat. This was 1970s Philadelphia Flyers hockey, stuff that you would see from back then. So basically what happened, I think Dobish was just trying to get back into the tunnel, trying to get a little break, heading into the third period. But a Washington player, I believe it was Trevor Van Riemsdyk, that kind of blocked him from doing that, and Dobish kind of gave him a little shove. He gave a shove back, and then that's what happened. The whole brawl that ensued, I believe it was Savard that went in for Van Riemsdyk, and then Jack-Eye goes at it with Anderson. Jack-Eye gives Anderson a bit of a face wash, and Anderson comes over because he knows that him and Wilson have had a bit of a history. They fought before, or they fought twice actually. Once when Anderson was with Columbus, and another time this season when Anderson, of course, was on Montreal. So Anderson goes up the Wilson while Jack-Eye's in the middle of it with Wilson, and Wilson just goes straight after Anderson. And the way they go pushing at each other, Anderson falls right into the bench, and he gets right back up. The bench doors open, and they just ride it across the bench, and they're going toe to toe in the bench. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. Now I know there's gonna be Facebook moms online today that are gonna be like, hockey fighting isn't a thing. It isn't a part of the game. Well, take a look at last night's Montreal-Washington game, because it certainly is, and that's how the second period ended. And then Ovechkin is able to tie it up for Washington to make it 3-3, but not for long, not for too long, as Christian Dvorak goes down to the left side, and he tries to feed it to Gallagher, but Brandon Duhaime tips it in his own net. And Brandon Duhaime on Washington had a really tough game. Don't know if he'll get scratched in Game 4 because he is a pretty good fourth line player, but he didn't have his A game into last night's game. As he tipped it in his own net. I thought it was Gallagher that got it, but it goes to Dvorak with the goal. And as I said before, Montreal needed a 2-goal lead. They badly need it, and they get it with a Juraj Slafkovsky goal. One thing about this goal, really nice play by Caulfield. Nice pass between Alexiev's legs and to the open net for Slafkovsky. But two things to talk about. One, Slafkovsky's celebration. His celly was unbelievable. Reminded me a lot of Pavel Gogolev on how he used to pump up the crowd every single goal he'd score. He'd kind of like do the little get louder noise. I don't know what to call it, but that's what Slafkovsky did in his goal, and it just reminded me a lot of like Gogolev when he was with the Growlers days. But yeah, those were the good days. But I mean, back to the game. Dylan Strome absolutely runs over Logan Thompson as if like Logan Thompson did not return in this game. That was a tough look for Dylan Strome. He lays right next to Thompson, and Thompson is just like, Thompson gets run over like he was a cereal box. That's what it looked like. And Thompson has to get, once he stands back up, he kind of like bobbles a little bit. Like he looks like he still may collapse or something like that. Didn't look good for him. But yeah, really bad look from Strome, because that, you gotta hope that doesn't happen again. But Charlie Lindgren goes in net for Montreal. You can call him a Montreal Canadiens legend. Was a third string goalie for Montreal. And didn't play much for them. Mostly an AHL goaltender. Played a bit in St. John's for the Ice Caps, I believe. But Lindgren gets in net for Washington, and Alex Newhook makes it 6-3 Montreal, the final goal of this game to seal the deal for Montreal. It's a 2-1 series. It's anybody's game in Game 4. If Montreal can find, I'm not going to jinx it, but able to tie the series up, that would be a great look. And the series isn't over. I'm just going to say that for free. If Washington won last night, the series is practically over, like the Ottawa-Toronto series. But Montreal gets the win, and they will head to Game 4 with the swing of momentum back at the Bell Center. And hopefully they can end that night, and they can end Sunday night with a win. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, you can like this video. You can subscribe if you really like it. We're on the road to 300 subscribers, so if you can hit that subscribe button down below, I'd truly appreciate it. We're crying for Wilson. That's it for today's video, guys. I'll talk to you all again soon in Game 4.